Are you one of those people that is constantly stretching out their calves, yet they're always feeling like they're tight? Well, maybe you don't physically have tight calves. Maybe they're just weak. Not sure what that really means? Stick around, you'll find out. Hey guys, it's Alex here from HEXA Health Hub, and today we're talking about calf issues, specifically how you can figure out whether your calves are physically tight due to a restriction or if they're just weak. A lot of the time we can feel tight through our calves without having a mobility or a movement restriction, just because we are pushing that muscle group past its functional capacity throughout your day-to-day life. When you do that with a muscle group, the muscle tends to feel tight because it's getting pumped up with blood all the time because it's overused past its functional capacity, giving you that feeling of tightness or restriction through your calf without actually restricting your movement and mobility. This stems from a weakness issue. So today we're going to figure out the difference between how to determine whether your calves are physically weak or if they are actually tight and we need to work on more mobility. The first thing is to test out your calf mobility or your ankle range of movement with the knee to wall test. The knee to wall test is exactly that, a test to see if you can get your knee to touch the wall. What we are trying to do is find how far you can shuffle your foot away from the wall while keeping your heel down on the ground and getting your knee to lunge forwards. This tests how tight your calf is down the back of your leg and in terms of ankle mobility. Toes come against the wall. Heel stays flat, push your knee forwards to see if you can touch your knee against the wall. If you can touch your knee against the wall, shuffle your toes away from the wall a little bit and then retest. So my toes are against the wall, heel down, can I touch? Yes. Shuffle back, yes. Shuffle back, yes. And you keep going and repeating that process until you get to a point where you can't touch the wall anymore unless your heel lifts off. Right? Because then we're cheating with the movement. So go as far away from the wall as you can, heel stays down, get your knee to touch the wall. Then you want to measure to see how far your toes are away from the wall. Plus 10 centimeters, so 10 centimeters of your toes away from the wall is a normal value for calf mobility and ankle mobility. If you can reach 10 centimeters away from the wall with your toes and your knee can still touch the wall, you have good calf mobility and good ankle mobility. So if you're one of those people that has the adequate range of movement through your calf, yet you're still feeling tight and stretching doesn't seem to alleviate that tightness sensation, maybe your calves are just weak. This is how you test to see how strong your calves are. Testing to determine your baseline calf strength is very basic and simple, but it doesn't need to be complicated. Single leg calf raises to failure. Now when I mean to failure, that's when the form starts compensating so that we're not being really strict with the movement. Being strict with the movement of a calf raise means having the ball of your foot on the edge of a step, knee stays locked out, tap your heel, press all the way up, tap your heel, press all the way up. And when we're pressing, we are not allowing any rolling outwards of the ankle. Rolling out is a compensation in your movement and it's cheating. It takes that pressure away from using your calf. So keep the pressure through the big toe side of your foot as you press up and not letting that ankle roll out. In terms of values of what's good and what's bad for calf strength, 10 repetitions we count as poor, 20 repetitions is fair, 30 repetitions is good. Give it a test, let me know how you go. So how to interpret all of this data? Well, if your knee to wall test was less than 10 centimeters, you have a calf restriction that is below average or a calf mobility that is below average, and you should probably work on some calf mobility and some stretching routines. If, however, your knee to wall test was 10 centimeters or above, meaning you can get your toes 10 centimeters away from the wall or further away from the wall and your knee can touch the wall with your heel staying down, you have good mobility, and then we need to look more so at your strength. In terms of strength values, if you're within the 10 to 15 sort of range, you should probably work on some calf strengthening. Anything 15 or above, you're starting to get better, but ideally we want to be getting that number in the 20 to 30 bracket of being between fair and good with your calf strength. So, are your calves weak or are they tight? Let me know.